Hello lovely beaders! If you like pearl bracelets but you want a wider one, but not quite a cuff wide one, today we have just the right size for you. Watch the tutorial, then make your own beaded bracelet. Nice, huh? If you want to make this bracelet, we are going to use 6mm pearls in two colors, but obviously you can use only one color or more than two. Then the idea is to be 6mm pearls. Then we have 11O seed beads, and I have used a magnetic clasp with 3 strands or 3 loops for this bracelet. We also need a beading needle and the usual nylon thread. We are making the bracelet in 2 strips. We create the first strip in the length that we need, and then we connect with the second strip. So we start with seed bead, pearl seed bead, go back through the pearl, and then again through the seed bead. And the idea is that we create an anchor of seed beads at both ends of the pearl, or in other words, we cover the holes with some seed beads where the others will be anchored from. Now we move the thread through one of the seed beads and we leave a tail so we can actually hold the work for a while. And now we pick up a number of seed beads that will cover this area, half of the circumference of the pearl. For the seed beads that I am using just now, I think I will need about 7 to 4, 6, 7. If you are using wider seed beads, you will need less. So it doesn't matter so much the number, but using the seed beads that you have, the idea is to cover it. So here I have picked up 7 seed beads. If I would use Toho beads, I think they are wider and I will use maybe 6 instead of 7. And we go through the other anchoring bead, and now we cover the other half, 2, 4, 6, 7, and go through the top seed bead. So this is our pearl, and to make sure that they are secure, we just go again around. And when we go to the opposite seed bead, we just gently but firmly pull the thread so there is no slack in between the beads. And here we have the thread out the opposite top bead. So this is where we finish. This is actually the, let's call, component that we will keep repeating. Now we just need to create the connector. For this bracelet, the connector consists of just one seed bead. So we pick up a seed bead and we stack it on top of the top bead, like this, and we go twice. This is actually a brick stitch or a ladder stitch, I never know what's the name of it. This is how it's done, and this is the connector. Using this connector bead, we continue to create our next component, because this top bead becomes one of the beads that are covering the holes. I have to find a name for that. Okay, and now we start with our second component. We go back and forth twice to make sure that the work is secured. And we create, let's call it the skirt of the pearl bead. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Connect it here at the top. Again 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And yes, here I really need to tell you something about the number of beads. So on the side of the pearl we need to have an uneven number of beads, because the bead in the middle here will be used to connect with the other strip. So if it happens that you will have an even number, you have to go back again and to add 1. So let's say that here you have 6. You will go through the first 3 and add 1 here, like this, to create the connector bead. Okay, and here we just continue with our connector. Pick up a seed bead, stack it on top of the one that covers the hole, go twice to reinforce it nicely. And this is your starting point for the next component. Pick up a pearl, pick up a seed bead, go back through the pearl, through the seed bead as well. Here, when you make the connection, if your thread went out like this, when you come back to connect, you must create a circle, otherwise your bracelet will be wonky. So here, if it goes out like this, it has to come back in through the other, from the other side. Okay. Now we reinforce. Go back up and down again. And then you create the skirt. That has to be an uneven number, or an odd, sorry. Has to be an odd number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Connect to the bead, and this is how we continue until we have the length we need. Usually about ½ an inch shorter than your circumference, so in this case will be 6 inches long. Here I have 6 inches of beaded bracelet, and now let's create the connection for the second strip. So with the thread coming out the top bead, we move the thread 3 and 4, so the thread comes out through the 4th bead on the side, on the skirt. Okay, and here around this bead we create a right angle weave. So we add 3 seed beads and go back, and we create a circle. We go back to reinforce this unit, because this will be connected at the end with the clasp, so we really need it to be safe and secure. And now we move the thread in the seed bead that is opposite to the one that we have come out from. Now we create the first unit in kind of a reverse way, so we will start making the unit from here. So for this is the middle bead, so this means that we need 3 to get here, 1 which will be the bottom bead. Now, so we have 3, 1, 1. Here we have the bead, another one which is the top bead, and then 3 from the other side. We go down like this, we create a circle, and now we go around and create the beads as the ones that cover the hole. So we go up this one and up this one too, and now down and reinforce the top bottom connection just like this. And now we go down on the thread and just create the second half of the skirt, and the way I called it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and connect it with the top bead. We go around to reinforce, and here we have our first component of the second strip, the one where we connected to the first one. Okay, the thread comes out of the top bead as usually. And now for the next component we create the connector the same way we've done here, and on this side of the skirt we create the connector to this skirt using the right angle square, the right angle unit. So first the connector, the vertical connector to the next component. Now we add the pearl, the seed bead, reinforce this one. Go back down. And now, because our thread goes out this way, we will continue with the half skirt, the outside one. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and connect it to the top bead. And here we have to create the horizontal connection. So we pick up 3 seed beads. This will cover the half. The fourth one will be part of the right angle weave. We pick up another one which is part of the unit, right angle weave unit. 1, 2, 3. We connect with the fourth. Pick up one which will be the fourth seed bead of the unit, and then we connect with the second one like this. So now we have created half of the skirt and the right angle weave connection. And now what's left is to pick up 3 seed beads and close the skirting, or the skirts, not the skirting. And now we go around the seed bead circle to reinforce. It's very important to have the right tension of the thread. And we move the thread at the top seed bead, the one on top of the hole, and we are ready to create the next component. If you want to work with me one more component, so we create the vertical connector and reinforce. We add the pearl and the top seed bead, go back and reinforce, making sure that if the thread went out like that, we complete the circle by coming from the opposite direction. We reinforce this one. Okay. Every time when we are close to create the horizontal connection, we must make sure that the bracelet is not twisted. So now we create the first half of a skirt, so 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, and 7. Connect to the top bead. And now we create the horizontal connection. So 3 for half of the skirt, 1 for the middle, 1 for one part of the right angle weave unit, and now we count 1, 2, 3, connect with the fourth, like this, from us away, from us towards the front. Now we add one more seed bead to finish the right angle weave. We skip one, the second, and here we do it like this, so to create a circle. And now the right angle weave circle is finished. Here for the skirt this is the fourth, so we still need 1, 2, 3. And with these 3 seed beads we finish the second skirt. We connect with the bottom bead, reinforce by going back through the seed bead circle again, pull the thread, and here you go only through the circle, so you do not go around the right angle weave. Only the circle. Pull the thread, and now we move the thread in the top seed bead, and now we are ready for another unit, the vertical connector and then the horizontal connector when you get to the middle of the second part of the skirt. I will work this for the length of our bracelet, and I will come back to show you how we can attach the clasp. Here I have finished attaching the second strip of our bracelet, and we are at the step where we need to attach the clasp. So the idea is to use the top beads to attach to two of the loops and the right angle weave for the middle one. But as you can see, there is a small dip. This is at a lower level, so here we need to bring another seed bead to have all the seed beads at the same level. So here we have the thread as we finished the second strip, and now we move the thread here. So for this we need to follow the thread path of the right angle weave unit, and here from the top seed bead of the unit we add one seed bead with the usual vertical connector that we have used so far, and we reinforce. And now we move the thread forward to one of the top beads so we can start attaching our clasp. Okay. So here we will make the connections. I usually hold the work like this. So the thread comes out this way. We go from the top down. And close the loop, and we create this circle a few times. top down, close the circle, and now we pull gently the thread. And this way we have the loop connected. We go back, and now we move the thread to the next connecting bead, which is the one in the middle. So we move the thread following the existing path. So we have to go through the right angle weave unit, and to get at the top of the seed bead that we have added. So here we are at the top of that bead, and now go on the top, under, and we close the loop like this. And we create at least 2 loops, quite loose. And now we pull the thread and we go once more around. And now we move the thread back to this seed bead. We follow the path, so we will go down through the right angle weave unit, and then up the top seed bead. Okay, and now again we create the same loops. So we go over, and create a circle, over, create a circle, and now we gently pull the thread. Okay, one more time. And here we have one side of our clasp attached. We weave in the thread, make a few knots, here we are, and we repeat the same procedure on the other side, making sure that when we connect, the bracelet is not twisted. If you want to follow me when I attach this second part of the clasp, let's attach a new thread. We start by adding that extra seed bead in the middle that we need to level for the clasp, and we just follow the path of the thread to get there. Add the top bead, and now we add one seed bead, and let's try to connect with the middle loop of the second part. Just make sure that the bracelet is not twisted. We create two large loops, and now we pull the thread. One more stitch, and then we move our thread to one of the top beads on the side. Okay, so here we are at the top bead. Over, under, and close the circle. Over, under, close the circle. Pull the thread, and we go around one more time. Now we move the thread to the other top bead, and we go through the right angle weave unit. the thread comes out of the top bead, and now we create the last loop, one, and close the circle. Okay, another one. Okay, and one more time. And after this, as usually, weave in, make a few knots, cut the thread. Okay. We can also weave in the thread that the tail of the thread that we've used to attach a new thread for the clasp. And here we have our bracelet with a magnetic clasp. I hope you like this pattern. Don't forget to subscribe, to leave me a comment if you like this pattern, and see you with our next tutorial. Ciao ciao!